And I'm live. Hey, you gorgeous people. So you're here for another weekly rendition of Still Movement. And I'm excited to do this with you today. So for any of you newbies, for any of you who don't know me, this is a new venture of mine. And it's a new concept for you. So let's just have a recap. I'm here to remind you that movement is not just physical. Movement is energetic. Movement can happen on so many layers and levels within you and around you. And I'm in the business of encouraging you to move. And why is that important to me? Because I know that inherently in every single cell of your body, whether these be non-physical cells of your physical container of physical cells of your physical container or non-physical cells of your energetic mind and your soul, I know that at every single cell, those cells are crying out for movement, for change, for evolvement. That's what they're here to do. They're here to grow. They're here to expand. They're here to taste this one physical life and to go, oh, that felt good. I want more of that. Or, do you know what? I want it a bit more like this. That is what your cells align to. That is what your you aligns to. That is what all of you aligns to. And I'm in the business of helping you to return to all that you are, to anchor you in your true energy, so that this can be a jumping board for you to bounce, to move, to dance, and to play towards all that you can be. And those words, all that you can be, they'll resonate with you at some level, but also they might bring up some stuff. All that I can be, that means I'm not being all of me. That means there's a better version of me. No better versions. All there is colouring. All there is you going, I'm more experienced in living now. In every moment that I take another breath, in every moment that I blink another blink, my cells have grown. They've worked. They've existed. They've experienced that little bit more. Maybe they've connected to each other a little bit more. And in that, it's able to help me to colour more of what my life looks like, more of what I want from this life. Because we can't have it all mapped out. We couldn't come down here and go, yeah, I know what I want. I know what I want. We could have an idea, but until we tasted it, until we got here, until we knew what it was to create as a physical human, to co-create with God, to live outside of non-physical, we didn't know how we would be. And in each moment that you live, that you work, that you be, you are getting more information. In every experience, you're going, okay, next I want this. That is because you're a born creator. It is because you are a powerful change maker. Change is inherent in every single cell of your body. And that's why my channel is called Welcome the Change. I facilitate you to welcome the change. What kind of change? Well, the change that's most relevant to you. The change that in this moment is going to lead you in the fastest way possible towards your greatest good. Now, what does that mean? Well, it could mean that you're logging in and doing this with me because there's physical pain within your body or tension, or there are experiences in your life that you just need to manage. And this helps you. It's called Stop Sweating the Small Stuff. And I know that that small stuff sometimes doesn't feel small. I know that you can be crippled by pain and it can be all-consuming. But I call it the small stuff because it's small fry. You are an immense and awesome change maker. You are a powerful creator. And the small stuff is what distracts you from how magic and powerful you are. That's why I call it the small stuff. Because you didn't come here to endure a life. You never would have come if this physical life was about enduring and getting through and getting a tick in a box and getting a participation certificate. No. You came here for much greater reason than that. Just let those words sink in. You came here for a reason. And it doesn't have to be highbrow and it doesn't have to be saving the world. It can be, I came here to live the life in the way that I want to live the life. I came here to live the life that I want to create. I came here to live as all that I am in every moment and allow that to lead me to more of me. There's that potential for all that I can be. Divinely more of you encapsulates where you want to go. It encapsulates your wants from this life. It's a powerful place to be. Now, you might also be tuning in because there's stress, there's overwhelm. You might be tuning in because you're lacking a sense of purpose. You know that there's something bigger that you're supposed to be doing. There's something more that you want. That ties in with it all. I'm here to help you to welcome whatever change it is that helps you to step towards more of you. But in order to step towards more of you, we first need to anchor you in all that you are. And so that's going to be today's practice. I say that, but I work with the ancient energy of spectrum. Spectrum is an ancient energy of colour, light and sound that you can taste and test with me in this life and on record if you're watching it on replay. And the reason you can test and taste it is because it recognises the energy of colour, light and sound within your soul. And it allows you to play with spectrum. So I say that we're going to ground you in all that you are. But who am I to say that? Because right now, you might be grounded. You might be ready to springboard. You might be ready to dance your way towards more. What I know is that in this moment, what spectrum is going to help us to do is to bring the change that's most relevant for you. So maybe right now you found me because you are trying to stop sweating the small stuff. You are trying to clear those hurdles. You are trying to get something out of your experience that is all-consuming, that makes your life just that little bit harder. And those words that I said when I said you're not here to endure living really resonate with you. But maybe you've also found me, or some others of you have found me, because that's not your experience right now. You don't really feel like you're enduring, but you kind of feel like you're treading water a bit. You kind of feel like you're not sure which way to go. You feel that there are certain things that are tethering you, that are stopping you from leaping, from going in the direction that you want to go in. Well, this live is for you too, because that change that I'm bringing is relevant to you. Spectrum works to bring you good experience, only ever good experience. So there needs to be no fear here. What's going to come up? What am I going to think of? What's happening to me? I'm not zapping you with any kind of magic power. I'm just allowing. I'm helping facilitate you to allow spectrum to bring you good. And in the bringing of that good, when you notice it, when you follow the breadcrumbs, when you start to understand where it's leading you and what it's bringing you, it kicks off this domino effect, this cascade effect of consequences. Consequences that happen at a cellular level that go, ding, 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 ding. This is the change I need to bring me in the direction of that change that I want to welcome. So who am I to tell you what that change would be? And maybe you don't know. And maybe it's important that you don't know. Expect the unexpected. But with me, always, always expect positive change. Because one of the most important words that I use is welcome. Welcome the change. Because I hold you in an assurance of love. Because I wrap you in trust. And I shine that golden light of trust upon you, and you might be feeling it now. I bathe you in trust. Trust of what? Trust of me. Trust of you. Trust of this experience. Trust of this moment. Trust of this connection. Trust of what is being brought to you. Trust of God. and of your ability to create and co-create with him. Because I bathe you in trust, and because I assure you that any change that you taste with me is going to be positive, is going to lead you towards what feels great divinely, then you know that you can welcome the change. And when we welcome change, as opposed to get thrown face first into it or dragged into it, guess what? You want more change. It's bigger change that you step towards. And it lasts longer because it's what you want. You're less resistant of it. And I know for some, change is a scary place. Change is unfamiliar and illogical sometimes and unexpected, and that can really wobble us and leave us feeling a little bit unsafe and insecure. Not with my bathing of trust. And before we step into the practice, because Spectrum is heavy on my shoulders, wanting to jump in and to help you, for you to experience Spectrum and the good that it can bring you. And not just to be head in the clouds experiencing the energetics, but to notice and to experience the change, the consequences that come from that. That is what Spectrum wants for you. It wants an energetically enhanced life experience. And that is what I want for you. I want you to find a way towards loving your life more through experience and connection. That is my deal. And that is why I encourage you to move with you. So just take a moment now. We're going to close down through our eyes. And you're going to recognize in this moment that still movement is still movement. You might be still. You might be lying in bed. You might be listening to me on a packed commuter train. But you are engaging in movement. And where are you moving towards? You're moving towards change that is relevant for you, that is important to you, that is imperative for you, that is always in the direction of your greatest good. You are moving towards change. And you want to. And do you know what? You're moving from your body, from your energetic minds, from your soul. There is no part of you that gets left behind. So as you just settle and breathe, feel this connection between us now. I'm turning up the volume on us sharing this experience, because experience is great, but experiencing with people who heighten your experience through connection with them takes experience to a whole nother level. That is why loving your life needs elements of experiencing, actually experiencing living, not thinking about it, not daydreaming about it, not with your head in your clouds, connecting to non-physical all the time and spirit guides, but actually experiencing what it's like to be a physical human. And because we're physical human, connection is so important to us. Connection to who we are and connection to other physical humans. Especially those who you have a contract with. I call them significant others. You might think of them as soulmates. You might know them in your own life, those people who were destined to be in your life. Those people that you meet and you go, God, I feel like I've known you for years. You have. So feel this connection with us. And then allow me in this moment to anchor you into your true energy. That might mean turning down the volume on that which is going on around you and turning up the volume on being feeling led. Allowing your soul to lead you in this moment. Just giving your soul that slightly louder voice than your conscious mind. Or maybe that physical cell or group of cells that are complaining about aches and pains. Just giving your soul a bit louder volume. We're letting it lead you because your soul knows. What does it know? Well, in this moment, it knows what good feels like to you. And I'm kind of turning up the markers on that for you. I can lead you, light the path towards a better feeling energy. And when you know what good feels like to you, because it's very individual, and you know what good feels like to you in this present moment, you then start to know if what you're doing, where you're moving towards, feels good or doesn't feel good. And this is so important in your life, because if you set the intention to align only to what feels good, and you know what good feels like, and good is true, it's not good that's coloured by your fearful experiences as a physical human. It's not good simply because I've always done it that way. It's not good because, oh, other people tell me that's what I should do. It's good because it just is good. It needs no further definition than that. And if you know how to follow what feels good, you will always be soul-led. You will be feeling-led. And that is powerful because that will always walk you in the direction of the life that you want to live. But as I say, it's half of the story. And this is what I'm passionate about. There's so much personal development and self-love work and kind of personal exploration work out there that focuses you on returning to who you are, being all of you. And I often see it as, we come down with this bright light, and fearful experiences in our life kind of put a veil over the light. And they're only kind of sheer veils. They don't dim the light greatly. Some of them are heavier and thicker than others for sure, because they're more grounded in deeper fear feelings. But others of them they just turn the light down a smidge, a fraction. But enough of them layering up, and suddenly it's harder for you to shine your light unless you take the veils off. Now, this is what I term awakening. And this is what many people term getting to know yourself, knowing who you are, living your life as who you are. It's half of the story. And this is what I'm passionate about. Yes, I want you to return, to recognise, to remember all that you are. And then I want you, in that recognition, to understand that all that you are must be added to all that you want. You must recognise yourself as the powerful creator and the change maker. And that means that you never get to the destination because you want to change and grow and move. That's you in your truth. There's never a box that you tick that goes, oh, I'm home, here I am. You go, oh, I'm home, and look at me moving from here, taking my home with me, always in truth, but moving from that truth. That's me sneezing on a YouTube live. I'm being nudged to tell you that that's a fluid consequence. It can be that simple. Just notice. That's all you have to do. You have to attribute things that happen, things that you feel in this moment or maybe later, to what we've done in this life. And when you attribute it, you start to notice the next thing that happens. Oh, itchy nose. So from your anchor into true, from your recognition of good, and lighting the path to divine unity of you. And you don't have to get bogged down with the terminology, but divine unity of you is that which we've spoken about, encompassing all that you are, but wrapping in divinely more of you, wrapping in those emphasized wants and understanding that you are the powerful creator and change maker that is inherent in your soul. And you accept that you love change, you want change, and you want to move. But you want to move from a place where you are all that you are. It is so much easier. When you are all that you are, you take away all the tethering that holds you still, and then it's easier to move. It's possible to move, and millions of people move from a place where they are not all that they are. But they're dragging against a load. They're doing it with a backpack of rocks on their back. They're doing it and pulling against something that's tethering them in the opposite direction. Guess what? The change doesn't feel that good. It's hard to welcome it. The change is minimized because you can't rock it as you want to. You can't gain the momentum because something's dragging you back. And so the change isn't as big. It's not as noticeable. It's not as satisfying. You don't want any more of it. It doesn't last. You think, God, it was hard. I did all this work and I didn't actually get to what I wanted. How many of us have that experience? For how many of you does that resonate with? I did all this work and I still didn't get what I wanted. So first we anchor you in truth. And then we know that one, you are going to where you really want to go. You're not just moving to move. You're moving in the direction that you want to create the life that you want. And number two, it's going to be much easier to get there because you're not being dragged in the opposite direction. Now we talk about welcoming the change. The other thing for you to know about divine unity of you is that it brings out a soul call. So once you've tasted it, as you are now, once it's called to you, you don't make it there and stay put, but it will call to you. How can you get somewhere that is constantly moving? Divine unity of you is constantly moving because you are changing, because your experiences are happening, because your connections are developing or deepening. Maybe even you're discovering more connection. So divine unity of you is a constantly moving goalpost, but it calls you. It doesn't want to be elusive. It doesn't want to make this difficult for you. It goes, oh my God, you found divine unity of you? You tasted that with Bryony? Now we can move towards it, and I'm going to ensure that I call to you. I might call to you as a whole, or I might call to particular cells. But I'm always going to be calling. It's a whisper. It's a, you could do it that way, but it might feel a bit better if you do it like this. Why don't you come over here and find a different perspective? Does that feel good? And you know whether it feels good or not, because you know what good feels like for you. Okay, so in this moment, we're going to return to your breath. Focus upon your breath. And breath is a powerful facilitator of change. I use it a lot. First thing I want you to ask yourself is, as I breathe in, how does that in-breath feel to me? The in-breath creates a change within. The in-breath is moving you. Sure, it's moving you physically, and you might feel physical sensations, but it is moving you energetically. So therefore you might feel emotional change. You might feel spiritual change, energetic change. And give you a moment to settle in. And it can be as simple as I breathe in, I feel my chest rise. Now let's go to your out breath. Ask the same question. What does it feel like as I breathe out? Remember, it's an energetic movement. So it could be, I anchor into true. It could be, I feel soothed, potentially because you're anchoring into truth. It could be, I feel a release, a tingle, a physical sensation. Allow it to be illogical. Maybe you feel a movement somewhere else. Maybe you're nudged to move. You can see me jigging around. And in all of my beautiful communication coaching that I get with the glorious Beth Turner, she says, stay still. It's distracting for people. And a part of me goes, yeah, but I follow what feels good. And if in this moment I'm not scratching an itch because I think, oh God, they don't want me to distract them, that doesn't feel good. You're going to feel the energy of that. If in this moment I want to put my hands up and spin around on the spot, I'm going to do that because I align to what feels good. And I have got to walk the walk. If I tell you to align to what feels good, then I've got to. And you will know, because of our connection, you will know if I am not being true. You will feel it. It will weaken that bond between us. You won't be able to put your finger on it maybe, but you'll just go, oh, it feels a bit odd. So one of my commitments to you is that I show up as truly me. In all my gloriousness, in all my divine spirituality, because we are all divinely spiritual. Being physical, human, is divinely spiritual. Okay. So what I want you to do now, we're going to come into a breathwork practice. Align to what feels good. That's all you have to do. If I tell you to do something, or encourage you, or suggest that you do something, you go, yeah, but I'm the guru of myself. I know what feels good, and I'm going to do from this moment on what feels good. And that might include hitting the stop button. If this is where you're supposed to be, it will feel good. If it's not where you're supposed to be right now, that's no reflection on the fact that this is not what you need. But it will be relevant to you at some point, so look for the nudges. You're here for a reason. You'll be back for a reason. So here comes the breath work. I want you to take the breath in for the count of 4, 3, 2, 1. I want you to pause for 2. And then I want you to breathe out for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then pause again. When you're ready, you breathe in for 4. You pause at the end of the in-breath. You breathe out for 6. And you pause. Continue with this round of breath. Allowing yourself to ignore that glorious car alarm that's going off. Maybe you didn't notice it till I drew your attention to it. But maybe now it's stopped. There's a stillness and a calm. There is always a reason. Take a different perspective. So we're going to bring some change when it feels good for you. Next time you breathe in, I want you to breathe in for 5. So you're increasing that in-breath by the count of 1. You're still going to pause at the end for what feels comfortable, and then you're going to breathe out for 7. So you're increasing the out-breath by 1. At the end of the out-breath, there's another pause again, only to what feels comfortable. And then stay in those counts. So it's 5 to breathe in, 7 to breathe out. You might stay here for a while, but you will be nudged if it's right for you to increase the counts again. So as you increase, I encourage you to increase the breath by 1 at a time and then settle with that new pattern. Keep the out-breath 2 breath beats longer than the in-breath. And notice as you do this, how does it feel different? You ask the question, how does my in-breath feel? How does my out-breath feel? Before we started this change, ask the question again. How do the pauses feel as well? That moment of stillness where you're readying for the next half of the breath, where you're settling and assimilating the change from the previous half of the breath. You can continue for these counts for as long as feels good, but know that you will top out. You will get to a point where it doesn't feel good to go any higher with those numbers. And bigger isn't always better. A greater number doesn't mean you're going to get more change and it's going to be more important and it's going to be better for you. The only thing that's better is what feels good. So you say, does this feel good? Does it feel better than it was a moment ago? Does it feel different? Does it still feel good? If the answer is yes, you carry on. But if any moment you get to, oh, this doesn't feel as good, you'll know. And in that moment, you take a different path. Maybe you drop the numbers. Maybe you shorten the pauses. You'll know what to do. Continue with this breath. Continue in this energy of noticing. Don't seek the consequences, the changes that are happening in your body. Let them find you. Because if you seek, you will be seeking from your perspective. You will be looking down the tube that you usually look down, through the lenses that are coloured by you. Spectrum wants you to look through all of the rainbow of coloured lenses that it gives you. And so it might be illogical, it might be unexpected, it might be something that you would never dream of thinking about. But if a thought drops into your head, maybe it's a memory, a past experience. Maybe it's you're thinking about something that's coming up or something that you want. Trust now that that is spectrum. Follow the breadcrumbs. If it brings you an experience from history past, how does it make you feel? What changes does that elicit within your body? What changes does that then lead to? Don't seek them, let them find you. This is easy for you. Trust that you can do this. In any moment that you feel you're ramping, I'm not getting anything. Yes, you are. Just turn down your conscious mind and return to your breath. So Spectrum now is bringing you the colour red. As you breathe in and out, imagine now that you're breathing in the red. And that colour is spreading within your body. Next time you breathe in, more red is coming in. And it's a vibrant red. I see it branching within you. As it comes in, it's almost like the breath itself is coloured red, and it goes to the alveoli within your lungs and it branches through, and then from there you can see the colour like a dye almost, slipping just like the oxygen would into your bloodstream, and from there being carried to every single cell in your body. It's almost like you've dyed the oxygen red. And that oxygen is taking a path that is most relevant for you at the moment, that is most needed and wanted. And it's going to create the change that you want, that you need, that is relevant, that is going to lead you towards your greatest good in the fastest way possible. Okay, the next colour's coming in. Remember, you're not trying to always push the numbers, but it might feel like you want to increase again. Even if you've topped out and gone, oh, that last number didn't feel so good, I dropped back one. Maybe you try again. Always aligning to what feels good. I'm being nudged that some of you won't want to count anymore. That's okay. Focus on the colours that Spectram's bringing you. It's a cooling blue now, a light blue. Almost like the brightest blue sky, and it's fresh. It's like how the day is today. Glorious sunshine, bright blue skies, and you're breathing in the blue from that bright blue sky. And it's fresh and it's a bit cold and you can feel it in your lungs. You can feel the cold and the colour as it again slips into your bloodstream and is taken where you most need it. You can stay longer with each colour. You could even hit pause as I'm talking, obviously not if you're live. Because you might get a nudge that this is a good one for you to follow. This is a good one for you to see it through. Where is it taking me? What consequences are showing up now? And here comes yellow. Yellow, warming, golden. It's a sunset. It's a deep yellow. There are tinges of other colours around it. It's almost like the yellow is bringing a hue of pink and orange and blue. It's radiating out other colours from it. But it's warm and it's safe and it's secure. And you're breathing it in. And this one to me feels more like a radiating. It's not so much slipping into my bloodstream as it is growing from my lungs and out. Remember, anything that you feel, Spectram only brings you good. I bring you to change with an assurance of love. It's only ever going to feel good. And what I mean by that is that even if you're getting a symptom of nausea like I am right now, settle into it. Take the divine perspective that this is leading you somewhere good. Not that you have to suffer through it. That's not what we're talking about. We bring you change that only ever is full of ease, only ever feels good. You're not tethered and dragging against something, but in this moment go, nausea, okay, cool, something important's happening. Settle as you need to. Here comes green. And again, green isn't necessarily being breathed in, it's growing like the grass under your feet. It's building. It's tickly and it's soft and it's wispy. And it's wrapping around your legs. And it's a whisper, a breeze. It's playing with you, it's dancing around you. It's coming up your body. Imagine that you're standing in the tallest grass that's growing, grass that's coming up past your chest and your shoulders and past your eyes, and it feels playful and it feels fun and it feels like you're hiding and it feels safe and secure, and There's a lightness and a giggling. And you can stay here for as long as that which feels good. Repeat, rewind. Find the colour that is most relevant in this moment. If you're amazed by the changes that you're feeling, even if you don't understand what that means for you, like now with my nausea, I don't know what it means. You can ask for understanding if you want to, but you don't need to analyse and understand in order for the change to come for you. If it feels good, ask for more information. Ask your you. Ask yourself. Ask your higher self. Ask Spectrum. There are collectives, important, powerful, ancient collectives that work with Spectrum. Ask them. They will bring you understanding if it's important for you to have it. But if not, dance about your life now, knowing that you just did something powerful, that you just took a moment and helped yourself to walk towards the life that you want to live, to let go of those challenges and hurdles that are making you enjoy your life. You just stepped into you as a powerful creator and change maker. And I'm so grateful, privileged, blessed to have done this with you. I'm sending you so much love. Feedback on here. Let me know what's come up for you. I love you. See you next week.